Hello and welcome. And if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe and share this video with somebody who might enjoy it. Today we're going to be making some delicious cinnamon rolls, and the best part is that we'll be using freshly milled flour, and for the filling, instead of sugar, we'll be using honey. I'll be posting the ingredients in the description box below. I'm also going to be adding some important links of some of the products that I use in case any of you is interested. Let's get to the recipe. We're going to start by milling hard white wheat berries. I'm milling quite a lot today because I'll be baking other recipes, but a simple rule of thumb is that 1 cup of berries will yield about 1.5 cups of flour. And in case you're interested, I'm also posting the link to this particular grain mill, which is the one that I like to use a lot. For the next step, you can use any mixer that you have at hand. I like my Bosch because it's a heavy-duty mixer and I can knead several bread doughs in one single batch. Just ensure that you use the hook attachment or the attachment for kneading dough. I have 1.25 cups of whole milk at room temperature, and I'm going to pour it into my mixing bowl. To that, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of melted butter, a 1/4 cup of liquid honey, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 beaten egg at room temperature. Now we're going to mix it for about 10 to 15 seconds just to combine all of the ingredients. Now it's time to add 4 cups of the freshly milled flour and 2 teaspoons of instant or rapid yeast. We're going to cover it and mix it again until the flour and the wet ingredients are well combined, just about another 10 to 15 seconds. Once it is done mixing, we're going to let the flour rest and get hydrated for about 10 minutes. If you have a lid on your mixer, you'll notice some condensation due to the yeast activity. Now it's time to knead it in the mixer for about 5 to 7 minutes, and I like to use a medium-low speed. After about 6 minutes, my dough is ready and stretchy, and it passed the Windowpane test, although it is not strictly necessary. For the next step, I'll be placing the dough inside a separate bowl and cover it with a plate, or you can use a plastic wrap, and we're gonna let it rest and rise until it has somehow doubled in size. You can place the bowl in an area of your kitchen that's a little bit warm. Next, I'll be greasing a 13 by 9 inch baking dish, and you can use butter or any light oil of your preference. Now it is time to prepare the filling. I have 1 full cup of liquid honey that I'm going to add to a bowl. Next, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of melted butter. 2 teaspoons of molasses. I like to give it a good whisk before adding the rest of the ingredients. Next, I'll add 3 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. And finally, a 1/4 cup of the same freshly milled flour. I'm going to set this mixture aside and proceed to the next step. With the same fresh flour, I'm going to lightly dust my countertop. The dough has doubled in size and I'm going to deflate it and dump it on the floured countertop. I'd like to also dust the rolling pin and start from the center of the dough towards the end to stretch it. I will roll it into a rectangle that's going to be between 18 to 20 inches long by about 15 inches wide. Now it's time to add the filling. Spread it gently to cover the surface, but we're going to leave about 1 inch on all of the edges. My final dough, it's about 20 inches long by about 15 inches wide. I'll begin rolling it along the long side of the rectangle. Be as gentle as you can and avoid squeezing it too much. As you go along, it's better to move from the center towards the ends. I like to place the seam side down to begin cutting the pieces. I like to very gently squeeze it from the center towards the end to form a cylinder and make it even. I like to use a bench scraper to cut it, but you can use a knife if that's what you have. And I'll be cutting my pieces in about 1.5 inches. Depending on how thick or thin you cut them, you can have up to 20 pieces, especially if you cut them in about 1 inch. I ended up with 14 pieces. I like to cover them with a tea towel and let them rest on a warm place until they are puffy and touching each other, almost doubling in size. At this stage, I'm not going to let them get too big because they will continue rising in the oven. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. After the oven has reached this temperature, I'm going to place a baking dish inside and bake for about 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, they are ready. I wish you could smell my kitchen. Since I'm using liquid honey instead of sugar, I'm going to let my buns rest and set for a short while I prepare the glaze. For the glaze, I have 1.5 cups of powdered or confectioner's sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and about 4 to 5 tablespoons of whole milk, depending on how thick or thin you prefer the glaze. At this stage, it's very important to whisk it or mix it very well to dissolve all of the sugar. The final glaze should look velvety and smooth. I like to drizzle the glaze over the buns while they are still nice and warm. And now the exciting moment of truth, giving it a taste. I really like to eat my cinnamon rolls like that, warm with either coffee or just milk. These cinnamon rolls are so delicious and creamy and moist. I think that they are perfect for any season of the year. And a little tip, the honey that is left at the bottom of the baking dish can be drizzled as garnished on top of the bun to make it even more exquisite. And there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe and share with somebody who might enjoy baking this delicious treat. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Have a fabulous and very blessed day.